Hi there and good morning. This little tutorial is aimed at those who have just started learning piano with me, basically this first term that's just gone past. So I just want to give you some guidelines, some help that you can sit with them, and please parents, it's very important that you actually sit with them during this phase. Even if you don't know anything about a piano, it doesn't matter. Sit with them and go through these steps as I'm going to do now. I'm just going to do a 5 or 6 minute for this stage, just some little things that you can do with them so as they can carry on learning the piano. The first thing I like them to do is to make sure they're sitting nice and comfortably at the piano, and they are to identify the 2 black notes on the piano, the groups of 2s, and they play that all the way up to the top. Then the groups of 3 notes, you ignore the first one if it's just a single one, most pianos just a single one. So the next group are 3 black notes, and they can either play it, I don't mind which hand they play it with, it's just learning the geography of the piano. I then get them to say the names of the piano. Now the piano's names after the white notes, are named after the first 7 letters of the alphabet, namely A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Once we get there, we go back to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on all the way to the top. I then get them to find the note C, which is the easiest to find because you look for the 2 black notes, and C is in the left of the 2 black notes. So then they find all the C's, and then they look for middle C, which is in the middle of the piano, normally by the name of the piano, 2 black notes, middle C is to the left of that, and that is where they must sit squarely in front of that middle C, the middle of them. Then I've given them all 3 little exercises to do. The first one is thumb to 2, thumb to 2, thumb to 2 to thumb. Now with some of them, we've gone actually up the octave, and then some of them we've even come back down. You notice how I'm using my wrist. It's not essential in the beginning, but if they can start thinking about getting that wrist down and then up. Then the second little exercise I gave them was a 1 to 5, and a bit of a rotation movement here. I'll do it with my left hand so you can see the 5th finger. The placement of the 5th finger is so important. We want to avoid that. Also want to avoid things like that when the wrist goes below the wood. Basically, the palm, the fat part of the palm, must be in line with the white notes. And then they roll from one side to the other as a little bit of like a rotation movement to get the wrist nice and loose and flexible. Now, what I've done with some of them is we've gone down. And then we've come back as well, in both hands. And then the last little exercise I've given them, which is called walking. It sounds easy, but it's so difficult to perform correctly. What they've got to do here, and it's to be done as slowly as possible so that it's correct. What you're looking for is that as I play the next note, the finger releases from the one before. We want slightly bent fingers. We want the notes to be sounded beautifully and legato. What we want to avoid are things where the fingers stick on the notes like that, which is quite common, especially for the 5-4. So you've got to watch that. Or they separate each note, which is easy to do. So we don't want that. They've got to go from one finger to the very next and perform that beautifully. Keeping it nice and slow with a nice rounded tone. In other words, no sort of and to keep it nice and even, doesn't matter how slow. You don't want things like that. Beautifully in time. And then some of them have learned to take it all the way up. It takes quite a bit of time, this exercise. It's very good for the fingers. And these should be done at the start of every practice session. Take about 5 minutes to do them properly and to finish them correctly. This one also, they come back, they get a bit confused coming back. So if you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then you finish the going up or ascending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. time. Now they return. So you start at the fifth finger, and you go to the fourth, 3, 2, 1, then back to 2, 3, 4, 5. Come down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we come all the way down till we get back to the middle C position. We hold that last note, and then we end on the thumb. And those are their 3 little exercises. So if you can get them to do that on a daily basis, we're making some nice progress. Then I will actually start doing some of the little bits of music that they can do and help you to teach them a little bit of extra. We will also be doing some lessons online as well. All right, guys, thanks so much. Bye.